Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic Volume 8, Episode 16. Yesterday, I promised that I would say a few more words about GrandCon, which just finished up. Thank you so much if you were one of the people who came out to help me test some of my upcoming titles. I got some great tests in of Word Salad, an upcoming word party game. I've got tests in of Climbing Vines and Following Leaves, which are a climbing game and a trick-taking game, respectively, that went over very well. And early tests of one of the next games in the 18 Escape or Holiday Hijinks series, which will be called the Mutiny Mystery. You will figure out the holiday on your own. But all that said, it was a great event, and I look forward to the next time that I can be out with you at some similar event and meet more of you, I hope. But today we are going to be solving a logic puzzle, as we always do. This one is called a Sutoreto. I had a request some time back for a puzzle type called straights, which appears to be a variation on this type, so hopefully this will provide some groundwork for people interested in the strategy for that puzzle. So without further ado, let's take a look at the rules. In Sutoreto, we place a number into each empty cell such that in each vertical or horizontal line of consecutive white cells, the numbers all form a consecutive sequence in any order. So all we need to define here is consecutive. The obvious definition here, we're saying that this is a consecutive line, as is this. They don't see each other because they're blocked by this cell. So in this line, we have the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we've got 5, 6, and here we've got 5, 6. Again, because they are separated by a cell, it doesn't matter that there are repeats across those two. And rows and columns are treated identically. Those are all of the rules of Sutoreto. So it's time to solve the puzzle. Today's Sutoreto was set by Eric Fox. Let's start at the top left corner and see what we can do with this 8. We know that this will be in a run that is either 987 or 876. So let's just mark those possibilities. So we know there will be a 7 in this run. These two are kind of similarly constrained. Either this is 9876 or it's 8765. So these have to be from 5, 6, and 9. Neither of those told us anything directly, but I see that we're going to have an interaction with this 5 because 5 can certainly not be with a 9 in 3 cells. That's too close together. So 9 comes out of here. So this could be 5, 6, 7, or it could be 5, 6, 7 this other way, or it could be 4, 5, 6. That's what we've got down here. How about over here? We know these exactly. 2, 3, 4, 5 is the only way this is going to work. Similarly here, we've got to have this be 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5, 3 has got to have a 4 in the middle. There's our first digit. 3, 4 is right in the middle, so that's not going to be very helpful. This could be 1, 2... all the way up to, well, I guess it's a little constrained because of this 6, but really this could be as much as 3, 4, 5, 6, and as little as 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty broad. I'm not going to bother marking that yet. 2, 5 needs to have a 3 and a 4 in the middle. 1, 4 needs to have a 2 and a 3 in the middle. 5, 7 needs to have a 6 in the middle. There's another digit. Looks like we're pretty symmetric in this puzzle. And what can we do next? 5, 3. We've got to have a 2 in one of these two spots, but The other digit could be a 1, or it could be... No, when I say I have 2, we have to have a 4 in these. But the other one could either be a 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it could be a 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not that... Oh, well, yes, that is helpful because of this column. So 1 can only be next to a 2 in 2 cells. And just glancing, well, first 2, 3, now we know this is a 4 because it's 2, 3, 4, 5. And symmetrically, let's look up here, and the same thing happens. 2 has to be next to a 3. So that gives us a 4 here, a 3 here, and a 4 here. Now we've got a 1 and a 4 in 4 cells, so these are 2, 3. We've got a 6. Could this be 6 and 2? 6, 5, 4, 2? No, not enough room. So this is a 3. And these are 4 and 5 in some order. Has this gotten any better? I don't think it has. This 5, are we still in the same situation here? Probably so. 2, 3. Okay, at most this is a 3. So the most this whole row can have in it is a 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that takes out the 9 from here, takes out the 7 from here. If this is a 2, then it's 2, 3, 4, 5. We could barely do that still. Not enough to take it away. 1 in here, we've got 4 cells, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 4, that's a 5. These are 2 and 3, but there's a 2 here. So this is the 3, this is the 2. This one can either be a 1 or a 5 to make that a run of 4. But 1 is obviously going to be a problem with that 6. So let's call that a 5. Then this one is either a 4 or a 7. 4 or 7. Is 7 okay? I don't think so. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, that's way too long. So that's a 4. We've got to have a 3 in one of these. The other one's going to be either a 1 or a 5. I guess I'll pencil that in. There's not a great way in this, contrary to Sudoku, to do the corner pencil marks because you don't really know if it's talking about the row or the column. This 6 will probably take care of this cell because this is only 4 wide. So 6, 5, 4, 3 is the lowest it could go. And so that will have to be what it is. This has got to be a 3. This will make that a 2. And these become 4 and 5. We know where the 4 is. So that's the 4. That's the 5. I bet this 2 has resolved this because we were saying that when we had a 3, we could go as high as a 6. But now we only have a 2. So this is at most 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what it's going to have to be because of this cell. So that's a 5. That's a 4. That's a 3. This is still a 1 or a 5. But we'll be able to tell which one by looking at this column. We've got 8, 7, 5. We need a 6. So that's a 6. This has to be next to a 6. So it is a 5. Here we've got 4, 5. We'll need a 6 to be next to that. And between 6 and 8 is a 7. So let's start looking at the right side of the grid. We've taken care of all the things on the left. This one, this could either be a 6 or a 2. If it is a 6, that makes this one a 5. If it is a 2, that way it makes this one a 3. Both of those are at the moment legal. This has to come, because it's next to a 3 or 4, has to be from 2, 3, 4, 5, but not 4. Where are we going to make progress? It's probably something intersectional between a couple of these. This will get resolved once we know this one. We'll get this one once we know these. here, how low could this get? This can't be any lower than a 2. And 2, 3, 4, 5 would work. This can't be any higher than a 6. Neither of those are very constraining. Let's see. If this is a 5, that makes this a 3, which makes this a 6 or a 2. That's fine. 5, how high could this be? 5, 6, 7. 7 can't go here. So let's just put in the options and see what happens. If it's 5, 6, 7, this can't be 7, so it's 6, 7. If it's 4, 5, 6, this can't be the 4, so this would be the 4. And if it's 3, 4, 5, again, this can't be a 4. This is the 4. This is the 3. All right. And if this is a 6, when we've got a 4 here, we need a 5 in the middle, and we can't do that. So, in fact, this must be a 3. This must be a 4. And 3, 4 can't be a 5. We're going to need this to be a 2. And that makes this a 2, 3, 4, 5. This can't be a 4 because of that. So 3, 4, 5. 4 makes this a 3. 3 comes out of these two. So this is a 5. This is a 2. And 4 and 5 need a neighbor that is either a 3 or a 6. And 3 is not in here. So this is a 6. And that is how you solve a Sutoreto.